Part 2. Misinformation can be a very dangerous thing. It's dangerous for the youth, it's dangerous for the old, it's dangerous for Generation X. That would be me. Misinformation can be used to hurt or harm people, or it can be used to lead you down a path that you probably shouldn't take. Now, as an actor who has not been discovered and probably never will be until I'm dead, so I'm probably going to be the next Bruce Lee. Nobody's going to know anything about me until I'm long gone. And they'll be like, damn, what happened to this guy? Why did he do this? You know, these things happen. But misinformation happens more often than we think. No one wants to acknowledge misinformation because no one wants to, as I might quote Rose McGowan, no one wants to check their heroes. No one wants to go through the facts of, okay, yeah, you did this. And worse than that, your heroes, yeah, I'm talking to all of you guys, your heroes don't want to own it. Alright, let me give you prime examples. I had a lot of respect for Steven Seagal. I had a lot of respect for Jean-Claude Van Damme. Then a few news things broke back in the 90s and the early 2000s about how both of them beat their wives. Now, the flip side of that is I lost a lot of respect for them for that. Because as martial artists, the number one rule of martial arts is to keep your hands to yourself until there is no need for you to keep your hands to yourself. In other words, if you're not fighting someone or if you're not in a competition, you're not supposed to abuse the power in which you have been bestowed. Alright? As a martial artist, it made it harder for me to date. Because back in the 90s and stuff, in the peak, in the pinnacles of their careers, you know, I'm still doing martial arts. I'm kicking ass. I'm doing what I need to do. Trying to break my ass into this business. But at the time, I really just wanted to be a cop. So making movies was like the farthest thing from my mind. I wanted to be a cop. I wanted to be a great martial artist. Mostly I wanted to be a great martial artist. And if at all possible, I wanted to be the one cop that walked around without a weapon on him. Because I am the weapon. Okay. So moving on. I would ask girls out. And they were like, I can't go out with you until I get to know you. So it's like, okay, cool. So let me give you enough of me that you'll get to know me. And hopefully you'll say yes. So I go into ethnicity, because that's always been a question for most people. Like, okay, so what are you? What the fuck you mean? I'm a human being. It's like, no, what is your ethnic background? It's like, well, I'm black. It's like, no, you're not just black. I said, okay, well, if you must know then, I'm also Cherokee and I'm also white. So that goes into that. No misinformation there. Then they were like, okay, so what do you like to do? What's your hobbies? It's like, yeah, if I tell you my hobbies, you're probably not going to want to date me. It's like, well, why is that? I said, because my hobbies are kung fu and comic books. You know, those are the two things that I do well. You know, I know all the comic book characters, and probably not now because they've retconned the fuck out of everything. And as far as martial arts came first. Well, technically, comics came first because it taught me how to read. But what do I do more? I can do more with martial arts than I can with comic books. You know, you can't really do anything with comic books outside of read them and stack them and pay money to read them and stack them. Where martial arts, you're active, you're running around, you're working these things called nunchucks and stuff. You're just having the fucking time of your life. Where when you're dealing with comic books, you can still have the time of your life. It's just with your mind and your eyes as you're reading a story as it transitions from page 1 to page 30, depending on your basic typical how many pages, because some comics had 30 pages, some only had 27. And most of the comics were that you had read, so in all you may have had maybe 20 pages, because they had advertisements in comics, and some of the advertisements took up 2 pages. So, you know, so when I told the young ladies I knew martial arts, they clearly watched the news more than men, and they were like, well, you know, Steven Seagal, he beats his wife. How do I know you're not going to do that to me? I was like, ma'am, as a real martial artist, it is not my place to put my hands on another entity of life unless they're coming at me in a threatening manner. Well, I don't believe that, because Steven Seagal, he's all super handsome, he has the ponytail, he's all good and everything, and he beats his wife. So I can't date anybody who does martial arts. What happened? You know, not everyone who does martial arts are wife-beating bastards. And these chicks were hot, you know. I mean, these chicks were like off the wall hot. And they wouldn't give me the time of day for that one simple fact that I was honest and told them that I knew martial arts. And it's better that I tell them now than we go on to a date and then something break out and I gotta beat somebody's ass. And then she breaks up with me after I beat somebody's ass because they're attacking us. Misinformation. Now I'm making the second video because I met an interesting young man. He was cool as shit, you know. I don't support his political affiliation by far, you know, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't support mine. But that misinformation that he has is wrong, and I gotta catch him on it before he get too deep into the propaganda machine that is Donald Trump. Donald Trump does not like Mexicans. Him and I both could pass for Mexicans. And if you're from the Dominican Republic, you're part Puerto Rican or whatever, he don't like y'all either. But this guy's behind him, and there's always one. There's always one. I'm not disrespecting this young man, but there's always one, because when what you don't know, no matter what anybody tells you, what you don't know can harm you. It can kill you if you're not careful. If you don't know that when somebody pulls the pin on a grenade, well, sorry for you. No. But what you don't know is there's just actually 3 pins on a grenade. So you should be alright as long as the main pin can be put back in. And if it's a pressure grenade, as long as you don't let that bitch go, you should be fine long enough to find a pin or a piece of a beer can or a stick or something to fit in that damn hole. My advice to you, though, is once you stick something in that hole, pitch the grenade anyway, just to be on the safe side. Pitch that motherfucker. Because if it's one, the handle release, because you have that first thing, click, then you pull the ring, and then when you throw it, that's the final pin. That thing you're holding is the final pin. When that thing comes off, it's done. So, you know, you need to be informed on things like this. Now, I made this video because dude's a Trump fan. I am not a Trump fan. He's probably never going to watch another video after these 2 videos, and that's fine. I respect that. I can't get mad at you. I can't get mad at anybody who's a Trump fan who just doesn't want to watch my videos. Hey, I only got 25 followers, so, you know, it's not going to hurt me one way or the other. Now, if all my other followers just up and say, yo, well, you know, we don't really like you because you don't like Trump, and y'all all leave, that's fine, too. Because it's not going to really make a difference. It's not like I have 2,500 followers where YouTube's like, yeah, we're going to bang on your door until you, like, say yes. Well, that's not happening. But most people don't like a truth teller. And I'm a truth teller. I do research this shit because before I made my video of Umar Johnson being a black supremacist, I was behind this motherfucker for his school. I was behind him for everything until that video of 2014 where he came up with interracial dating and how much he hates people who do that. And if you don't date him, you can't love him. And all this other shit. But see, the fact of that is simple. If a black woman won't date you, you can't wait for every black woman to decide if they're going to date you. Where if a white woman is throwing herself at your feet and a black woman won't give you a second time a day, what you supposed to do? You supposed to wait for the next black chick to come along? Fuck that. You go with the white broad. If the white broad's not doing it, you go with the Asian broad. You go with whatever broad goes with you. Because if you sit here and you wait for your fantasy girl, and it could be Tyra Banks, it could be Halle Berry, and Halle Berry dates white men, so you can hang that up. It could be the porn star India. I don't know who she dates. But, you know, if these women don't date black men, and those are the women you are looking forward to dating, they're not going to date you if you're black, so they're not going to be like, yeah, I don't want nothing to do with him. No. And a lot of famous people, regardless of male or female, if they're black or white, they generally tend to have interracial relationships because through their life they've probably had bad relationships with people of the same damn color. Again, misinformation can be a dangerous thing. Alright? Then the young man was telling me how he believes that the Democrats made Trump sign over Standing Rock. Now, I'm honestly going to go against that because it conflicts with the fact that the Democratic president is the one that signed the protection to protect Standing Rock. So how would the Democrats make them undo the shit? That doesn't make a bunch of logical sense. But young man, if that's what you want to believe, I'm not Jesus. I can't change your belief. But I can give you some information that you should probably check that shit out. Because if you go back far enough to when the Standing Rock thing began, and people had brought it to Trump while he was running for the president, he said, I'm not going to touch Standing Rock. The video is here. And it's even on Donald Trump's favorite news channel, Fox News. So you can go find that. And it's going to tell you where he straight up says, I have no business standards with Standing Rock. I'm not going to touch Standing Rock. If I become the president, I'm not going to touch Standing Rock. Lie number 1, because it's 2 days in, the Native Americans of Standing Rock went, well, what's going to happen? And sure as shit, Obama signed it before he went out. Trump unsigned it as soon as he got in. Now, why in the hell would the Democrats who were on Obama's side all of a sudden decide, hey, fuck those Indians? Yeah, I don't think you've been informed, buddy. And you need to go back further when the stuff first began, and he first began his political thing with the Mexicans that were rapists and murderers that killed people, and he said something about them, which goes back to this guy I met. He's a young person who's of Dominican Republican descent, which means he's from Puerto Rico. You've seen Donald Trump doesn't give two shits about your country. He hasn't really gone there to say anything to the government of Puerto Rico. You know, if anything, he's insulted her. And guess what? She's Dominican Republican. So, yeah, you might want to get your facts checked, bro. I'm not trying to dish you. I'm not trying to say nothing bad about you. I'm just trying to inform you that you have been misinformed big time. Now, I'm old enough to know the 90s. He's not. He might have been born in, like, freaking 98 or something. Guy couldn't have been more than 21 years old. Alright? And if he's older than 21, he aged very well. Anyway, you know, it's a lot of things that we don't pay attention to. Alright? When I was a kid, and I know you guys who watch my channel have heard me say this 100,000 times before. And I repeat it. And I will probably repeat it another 100,000 times. When I was a kid, I never knew I wasn't anything other than black. I've had to fight to prove my blackness to black people since I was a kid, till an adult. It wasn't until the 5th grade when I found out that I was part Native American. It wasn't until the 5th grade that I found out that I was part white, because when you are a child and your mom doesn't look like you, but you don't pay attention to that, when your grandmother doesn't look like you, and you don't pay attention to that, when your great-grandmother, her eyes are way slanted farther than mine, and she is full-blooded Cherokee, and you don't know what none of that shit is. This is why you go to school. You go to school to learn. But school can't teach you your family history. Only your family can teach you your family history. And my family only wants to embrace the black side, which is why I only thought that I was black until Miss Conrad pointed it out. You know, and not only did she point it out, she kind of put me right smack dead on the spot and caused me to get a couple of ass whippings over some soap that I clearly am not the descendant of a carver. Maybe a scout, but not a carver. But anyway, you know, misinformation is a very dangerous thing, because misinformation gets people fucked up, you know. And when I found out that I was part Native American, it totally fucking shocked me. That was like brand new to me. It was like, what? You mean I'm part Native American? My people is black. It's like, son, you might want to ask your parents. So, you know, I asked my mom. She's like, yeah, your grandmother is this, and your grandfather was this and this, and here we are, which explains why my mama looks fucking white and could blend in with white people, because I've lost her 3 years ago in Scottsville, not too long after my father passed. My mom and I went to the farmer's market, and she blended right in with all the white people down there. There's 2 black people that day. And it was me and the other black guy who was in the fishing store that gave me the information to go meet this guy that I bought my recurve bow from. Alright? Because it was after the doctors gave me this bad news about, hey, James, you're probably never going to do kung fu ever again. Anyway, moving on. So, going back to that, and totally being misinformed as I grew up, I never knew that I wasn't black. You couldn't tell me I wasn't black. And, you know, I just thought I was black and got blessed because I had curly hair. My hair's still curly. There's enough Royal Crown in here to make an oil slick. So, I'm going through all this stuff. And why you guys want to know why I'm going through all this, so that the young man, if he's watching, can understand it. I don't have the right to be a racist. Alright? Because I am multicultural. I am Native American, I am black, and I am white. I have no right to be a racist. But I do have the right to inform you of racist people that we idolize. There's a lot of racist people that we idolize. We don't even know they're fucking racist until they're right in your face. And that's generally how it works. Most people, you will never know a racist until you catch them in a racist act. And the first thing that points out to a person saying, if I'm a racist, you know, most of my friends are black. That doesn't make you any less a racist. You know, now you might be a racist and not know it. And that shit happens. You like, well, I got this guy, he's a friend, he's black, he knows all about me. We've been cool since we were kids. Because when you're kids, you don't see color. Racism is taught to people. People aren't born inherently racist. People are taught racist. children are fine until we, the adults, decide that our view of life is better than their view of life, so we fuck our kids over. Right in the actual ass with, you don't like this person because he's black. You don't like this person because she's Asian. You don't like this person because she's white. It works on both sides of the track. Black people do it to white people. Black people do it to Asian people. Asian people do it to white people. Asian people do it to black people. Asian people do it to other Asian people. Just ask that Chinese and Japan thing that's got going on. You know? You gotta think about this shit. There have been racial tension in every race of every creed of every species on America, in the world itself, in general. There are people who aren't going to like you just because of your ethnicity. It doesn't matter if you're an asshole. It doesn't matter if you're the nicest person on the planet. If they have been trained to not like you due to the color of your skin, they're not going to fucking like you. Again, misinformation can be a dangerous thing. You know, now this young man, he's a Donald Trump fan. I'm not going to change that. In fact, you go ahead and you waste your vote and you knock yourself out. And in the next few years, if shit goes right and he gets in again, hey, you knock yourself out. I'm not voting for the unicorn fucking fucker, but hey, that's on you. Now, as a vet, as he said when he was running, he won't go mess with the vets. Another lie. 6 to 8 months ago, he was talking about getting rid of all the transgenders and gay people in the military. Now, I don't want to sound like an asshat, but statistically speaking, that's a good chunk of the military that is gay, who want to serve. If you get rid of the people who want to be there, and all that's left is the people who are there because they don't have a fucking choice, you're not going to have a very strong army. And in the army, no soldier left behind. That's our main thing. You know, even if he dies, we're still bringing him home, because that's what we do. But no, he wants to get rid of the bulk of the military. He wants to get rid of gay people. He wants to get rid of transgenders because he believes that somehow or another the government has to pay for their gender reassignment surgery. That's not how it works. Usually, a soldier pays for their own surgery. Well, anyway, I'm probably going to make a third video about this because it's something that people need to get deep into. And, you know, for this young man, you know, he should probably get deep into it. And as I said, I probably am going to give him the most sourest taste in his mouth towards me because I'm not a Donald Trump fan. And if that happens, yo, dude, I still respect you because you know what? You haven't done anything to me. I haven't done anything to you outside of trying to give you information because I do believe that you've been highly misinformed. And I'm not saying that you're wrong, but I'm not saying I'm wrong. I know what I saw. I know the videos to go check. I know who to Google. I'm not saying that you should Google it to change your mind about Trump. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying you might want to fact check that shit just in case. Because he's called Mexicans out. Straight up and down. He's straight up called Mexicans. That's why he wants that fucking wall. He doesn't give a fuck about the DACA kids. He wants anybody who's not born in this soil or by American blood somewhere else to not be in here. And that's fine and dandy, but there's just one itty little problem there. The only people who really actually do have ties to this country for the last 10,000 years or the 20,000 years are the Native Americans. So I'm here by blood, you know, because of slavery and because of indoctrination in the tribes and because my maternal grandmother and my fraternal grandmothers are both of Native American descent. So I was meant to be Native American one way or the other, where everyone else can't really say that. And you can fact check it if you want. And my father's father was black. My father's mother is Native American. Her mother before her is Native American. Alright? Good luck with finding that. Now, secondly, my mother's mother is Native American. And if not Native American, she's damn sure half Native American. And she was raised by a black woman because her actual birth mother apparently tried to kill her. And that's the only story I've heard. I don't know how much truth to it. And I'm not going to go digging into that damn ditch. Now, as far as my grandfather, he could pass for a white man with a tan. His father's father was either white or black. Somebody in his family genes was black and someone was white. And when you look at my mom can pass for white. So again, misinformation is a very dangerous thing. I'm James Williams Jr. Part 3 is coming up.